The bear, with its contrasting qualities, can evoke a sense of cuteness and cuddliness, while also embodying the essence of a formidable and powerful beast. It is important not to forget that these animals are highly efficient predators. With their immense size and impressive land speed, they can be likened to tanks. Thankfully, unprovoked bear attacks on humans are not common. However, in 1915, a small village in Japan experienced a truly horrifying encounter with an enormous, terrifying bear, a creature that could rival even the most sinister of serial killers. This event is known as the Sankebetsu Brown Bear Incident. From December 9 to 15, 1915, amidst the dawn of the Taishō era, a relentless Usuri brown bear unleashed a reign of terror, targeting unsuspecting households, with a staggering toll of 9 lives lost and 3 others wounded. This gruesome episode has earned the infamous title, the worst animal attack in Japanese history. In the dim light of a mid-November morning in 1915, an Usuri brown bear appeared near the Ikeda family's dwelling in Sankebetsu Rokusen-sawa, nestled 11 kilometers inland from Hokkaido's western shoreline. Startled by the sudden encounter, their horse whinnied in alarm, but the bear hastily retreated, having only snatched some harvested corn. In this nascent settlement, such encounters with wildlife were a common occurrence. On November 20, 1915, the bear re-emerged, prompting the head of the Ikeda family to worry about their horse's safety. Seeking assistance, he summoned his second son, Kamataro, along with 2 skilled hunters, or matagi, from their village and a neighboring one, though they took aim at the bear when it appeared again. On November 30, their shots failed to bring it down. Undeterred, the following morning, they traced the bear's tracks, which led them towards the formidable Mount Onishika. Along the treacherous path, the hunting party stumbled upon telltale bloodstains. Yet, a fierce snowstorm forced them to retreat, speculating that the wounded bear would no longer pose a threat to the settlements. In the morning of December 9, 1915, around 10:30 a.m., the enormous brown bear made its way to the Oda family's residence. Inside the house were Abe Mayu, the farmer's wife, and baby Hisumi Mikio, whom Mayu was looking after. Tragically, the bear attacked Mikio, biting him on the head and claiming his life. Mayu valiantly fought back, using firewood as her weapon, and attempted to flee. However, the bear caught up with her. Knocking her down and dragging her into the dense imperial forest of Sankebetsu. Witness accounts vividly described a gruesome scene, akin to a slaughterhouse, with blood staining the farmhouse floor. Early in the morning, on December 10, Saito Ishiguro and Mayoki Yasutaro left the village on errands. Meanwhile, a 30-man search party was organized to capture the brown bear and recover the remains of Mayu. Entering the forest, no more than 150 meters, 160 yards, it met the bear. 5 men shot, but only 1 managed to land a hit. The enraged animal retreated, and the men escaped injury. After the bear fled, the hunters scouted the area and discovered dried blood on the snow at the base of a sakhalin fir tree. Beneath the snow was the corpse of Mayu, with only the head and parts of the legs remaining. The bear had stashed the body of Mayu in the snow, in an attempt to preserve it, as well as to hide it from scavengers. Proof it was this brown bear in the attack, as the villagers firmly believed that the bear, once having tasted human flesh, would inevitably return to the settlement. They gathered at the Oda family's farm armed with guns. Around 8 p.m. that fateful night, their fears materialized as the bear made its reappearance. Despite their preparedness, panic swept through the crowd. Amidst the chaos, one brave individual managed to take a shot at the bear. However, by the time the corps of 50 guardsmen, stationed approximately 300 meters away, at the neighboring Mayok house reached the scene, the bear had vanished into the dense woods. The corps swiftly regrouped and embarked downstream, following what they believed to be the trail of the elusive predator. Upon receiving news of the Oda family's horrifying attack, The Miyuka family swiftly opened their doors to provide refuge for frightened women and children, while guardsmen took up their posts outside. As the guardsmen sat down for dinner, word arrived that the bear had returned to the Oda farm, prompting them to march off in haste. Unbeknownst to them, the bear, having narrowly escaped death at the Oda residence, now sought refuge at the Miyuka homestead. Yeo, the wife of Miyuka Yasutaro, was in the midst of preparing a late meal, with her fourth son, Umekichi, secured on her back. Suddenly, a rumbling noise caught her attention. But before she could investigate, the bear burst through a window, invading their sanctuary. In the chaos that ensued, the cooking pot toppled over, extinguishing the flames, while the oil lamp flickered out, plunging the house into impenetrable darkness. Yeo desperately attempted to flee, but her second son, Yuhiro, clung to her legs, causing her to stumble in her escape. It was in this moment of terror that the bear launched its ferocious attack, biting Umekichi and inflicting unimaginable horror upon the family. Odo had chosen to remain at the house as the sole bodyguard. When he made a dash for the door, the bear let go of the mother and child it had been pursuing, and went after him. Seizing the opportunity, Yeo managed to escape with her children. Odo tried to find shelter behind the furniture, but the bear clawed him in the back. The ferocious animal then attacked and fatally wounded Kinzo, the third son of the Miyuka family, as well as Haruyoshi, the fourth son of the Saito family. Oh wow, the third son of the Saito family, was also bitten by the bear. The next target was Take, Saito Ishigoro's pregnant wife. She, too, was brutally attacked, killed, and devoured. According to later testimonies, villagers heard Take pleading with the bear not to harm her belly, but to consume her head instead. The guardsmen who had been tracking the bear downstream realized that they had lost its trail. They hastened back to the settlement, when they encountered a severely injured Yeo, who informed them about the attack at the Miyuka family's residence. The team of guardsmen rushed to the scene in an attempt to rescue any survivors. Upon their arrival, they found the house engulfed in darkness, but they could hear sounds of a violent encounter. Assuming that the bear had claimed the lives of everyone inside, some of the guardsmen proposed setting the house on fire. However, Yeo, still hoping that some of the children might have survived, vehemently opposed this idea. The guardsmen were split into two teams. One consisting of 10 men positioned themselves at the front door, while the other group went around to the back of the house. Upon receiving a signal, the team at the rear commenced a commotion, shouting and clattering their weapons. As anticipated, the bear emerged at the front entrance. Unfortunately, the men had formed a congested group, obstructing their lines of fire, and the leader of that group had a malfunctioning rifle. In the midst of the ensuing chaos, and the danger of friendly fire, the bear managed to slip away into the darkness. Carrying torches crafted from birch bark, they ventured into the house, and witnessed the aftermath of the attack. Rikizo and Hisano, siblings and the eldest children of the same family, sustained injuries but survived. The villagers gathered at the school, while those severely wounded were taken to the Tsuji family's residence near the river. Following the incident, only veterans of the Russo-Japanese War remained stationed at their respective posts. In the meantime, Saito Ishiguro, completely unaware of the tragic fate that had befallen his family, proceeded to file a report with the authorities and the local police district. Afterward, he returned to Tomakomai and sought accommodation at a nearby hotel. Upon hearing about a certain man named Yamamoto Heikichi, renowned for his expertise in hunting bears, Miyuka Yasutaro decided to pay him a visit. Yamamoto, however, had reached a point where he had pawned his gun to obtain money for alcohol. Despite being aware of Yamamoto's reputation, he declined Myoke's plea for assistance. Consequently, Yasutaro found himself unable to return home, and ended up staying in Onishika. On December 11, Myoke Yasutaro and Saito Ishiguro made their return to Sankebetsu. They noticed the gathering of villagers at the branch school, and, piece by piece, learned about the horrifying mauling incident. A group, including Myoke and Saito, was formed with the intention of hunting down the bear. Convinced that the bear would reappear, they decided to wait for it at Myoke's residence. However, the night passed without any sign of an attack. Word of the bear's presence in Sankebetsu reached the Hokkaido government office, prompting the organization of a sniper team. Under the guidance of the Hoburo Branch Police Station, guns and volunteers were gathered from nearby towns. And after obtaining permission from the Taishō Rinya Kyoku, the team set off for Sankebetsu that evening. Chief Inspector Shuga, the commissioner of the branch office, ascended the Rokusen Sawa to observe the Myoke family house and assess the state of the sniper team, meeting with all those who arrived from the mountain pass. However, on December 12th, the brown bear did not make an appearance. It was concluded that the bear was likely to return to retrieve the bodies of its victims. But upon inspection, no remains were found at the Myoke family house. Consequently, a new plan was proposed to lure out the bear using the corpse of one of its victims. The plan faced significant criticism, particularly from the Oda, Saito, and Myoke families. However, it was ultimately determined that, in the best interest of the village's future, this plan should be pursued. Without delay, the strategy was put into action. The team of 6 snipers, now joined by Yamamoto Heikichi, positioned themselves inside the house and waited. However, the bear halted momentarily, seemingly inspecting the interior of the house, before retreating back into the forest. It did not reappear throughout the night, resulting in the failure of the plan. At daybreak, on the 13th of December, a search team made a disheartening discovery. The Oda family's house had been ravaged. The bear had devoured their winter food supplies and left a trail of destruction in multiple houses. Despite the efforts, the bear remained elusive, and its whereabouts remained unknown. To boost morale, Shuga, the police captain, provided encouragement from the village outskirts. With a force of 60 armed men now assembled, it was decided that they should embark on a hunting expedition. In the surrounding mountains, Kesagaki, seemingly devoid of caution, expanded its territory downstream. Recognizing the escalating danger, Police Captain Shuga took preventive measures by constructing an ice bridge as a defensive line. Snipers and guards were positioned accordingly. During the night, a sniper stationed at the bridge believed they saw something amidst the shadows of the tree stumps on the opposite shore. The shadow, possibly that of the bear, vanished into the forest. Although disappointed by their failure to kill the bear, the captain believed he had heard some form of reaction from the elusive creature. The following morning, a team ventured to the opposite shore and discovered a bear's footprint along with traces of blood. Recognizing that Kesagaki had sustained further injuries, and with impending snowstorms that could obscure any remaining tracks, it was deemed a critical opportunity to hunt down and eliminate the bear. Without delay, Yamamoto and Ikeda Kamehiro, a skilled guide, set off in pursuit of the bear. Yamamoto opted for a smaller team of 2, as it would allow for greater speed and agility. Leveraging his knowledge of Kasagake's behavior, Yamamoto successfully tracked down the bear. He located the creature resting near a Japanese oak tree, closing in to a distance of 20 meters. Yamamoto took aim and fired. The first shot struck the bear's heart, followed by a second shot to its head, inflicting fatal wounds upon the animal. With the bear finally defeated, a surge of victorious cries erupted from the Avengers. This jubilant scene was reported in several newspapers. Upon measurement, the bear was found to weigh 340 kilograms, 750 pounds, and stood at a height of 2.7 meters, 8.9 feet. Estimated to be around 7-8 years old. A necropsy was conducted on the bear, revealing remnants of its victims in its stomach. Although the skull and some fur of the bear were initially retained, they were unfortunately lost over time. Yeo, who sustained head injuries in the attack, fully recovered. However, Myoke Umekichi, who was bitten by the bear while being carried on his mother's back, tragically succumbed to his wounds less than 3 years later. Odo, after recovering from his injuries, resumed his work. However, the following spring, he met with a fatal accident and drowned in a river. In the aftermath of the attack, most of the residents of Rokusen Sawa quickly departed. and the village soon became a deserted place until 1946. It was then revitalized by the arrival of 6 families from Osaka, seeking to rebuild after the war. Okawa Haruyoshi, who was 6 years old at the time of the incident, and the third son of the mayor of Sankebetsu village, Okawa Yosakichi, grew up to become a renowned bear hunter. He took an oath to avenge the victims of the attack by killing 10 bears for each one of them. By the time he reached 62 years of age, he had successfully hunted down 102 bears. Upon retiring, he erected the Bear Harm Cenotaph, a shrine where people can pray for the souls of the deceased villagers.